everybody, I'm Sin. We are in the Book Nook, and today we are going to talk about what I'm going to be reading for the Cryptid Readathon, and also have a few recs as well. I'm going to be reading some nonfiction and also fiction. So first, I guess I'll tell you the couple of nonfiction books that I'm going to read. And the first one is by, I don't know, like the Godfather of Cryptozoology, is by Lauren Coleman. It is Cryptozoology from A to Z. This is the encyclopedia of loch monsters, Sasquatch, chupacabras, and other authentic mysteries of nature. And what it says is the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot, the Abominable Snowman, these are the names of the elusive beasts that have caught the eye and captured the imaginations of people around the world for centuries. Recently, tales of these monsters have been corroborated with an increase in sightings. And out of these legends, a new science has been born, cryptozoology, the study of hidden animals. Says Cryptozoology A to Z is the first encyclopedia of its kind. It contains nearly 200 entries, including cryptids, the name given to these unusual beasts, new animal finds, and the explorers and scientists who search for them. Lauren Coleman, one of the world's leading cryptozoologists, teams up with Jerome Clark, editor and author of several encyclopedias, to provide these definitive descriptions and many never before published drawings and photographs from eyewitnesses, detailed accounts. Full insights into the methods of these scientists, exciting tales of discovery, and the history and evolution of the field. Cryptozoology from A to Z is the most complete reference ever of the newest zoological science. And it's not crazy big. I'll probably bounce around in it. I don't know if I'm going to read it like in order. I may bounce around to like ones I'm more interested in. We'll see. We'll actually see how the flow of this goes. But yeah, this is something I've been meaning to read for quite some time, and I'm looking forward to it. How does one read an encyclopedia? I mean, I don't know, one entry at a time. We'll let you know how it goes. But yeah, I've had a fascination with cryptids and weird beasts for quite some time, and I'm always hungry to learn more about the weird things that may or may not exist in this world. So next, I'm a big fan of possible sea creatures, and the next book I got, also a nonfiction. This is by Jason Hewlett, and it is The Legend of Ogo Pogo. Beneath the waters of Okanagan Lake lives a legend. Upwards of 60 feet in length, with a serpentine body, tail of a whale, and the head of a dragon. This creature is one of the most documented cryptids in the world. It has also become a major tourist attraction and mascot for residents of the Okanagan Valley. But there's more to Ogo Pogo than the countless sightings, frightening folktales, and children's books. The story of Ogo Pogo dates back to before European settlers arrived in the region. To the indigenous people who first called the land home, Ogo Pogo is more than just a monster. It's a spiritual being of great significance. In May 2023, researcher Jason Hewlett and filmmaker Eli Watson ventured to Okanagan Lake in an effort to unlock the mystery of its most famous resident. Mixing eyewitness reports, historical research, and a boots-on-the-ground investigation, The Legend of Ogo Pogo, Canada's Loch Ness Monster, provides an in-depth exploration of the lake monster story and a possible answer as to what Ogo Pogo just might be. So, looking forward to reading The Legend of Ogo Pogo by Jason Hewlett. I think it's going to be a good one. And also it's not super huge. So yeah, I really like reading about weird, mysterious water creatures. So after Mothman being my favorite, like my second favorite is the possible like Loch Ness style monsters. The fact that there could be these giant sea creatures or lake monsters is quite fascinating to me and terrifying at the same time. All right, so most of the books I am reading are physical, but I do have one ebook I want to talk about. So I'm hosting this readathon with Jason of Jason's Weird Reads and Fiber Artsy. I'm going to be reading the book Attack on Sasquatch Valley, which is by Jason White, who is also a host for the readathon. It is a Bigfoot horror, and I couldn't find like a synopsis, but there is a quote that was blurbed by another author that I do want to read to you that kind of gives you an idea of what the book's about. Okay, so the author was Nicholas Kaufman, and this is the blurb about Jason's book, Attack on Sasquatch Valley. Furry, fang-toothed horror awaits you in Jason White's first story collection, Attack on Sasquatch Valley. The blood flows freely in these 4 tales of doomed, violent encounters between humankind and Sasquatches. But White's stories dig deeper, leaving you wondering which is the biggest monster after all. Highly recommended for readers looking for a Bigfoot bloodbath. So, if that sounds interesting to you, you guys might want to check out his book. Okay, so next up, we have another Bigfoot book. This one is a fiction as well. That is Rogue by Luke Phillips. Okay, also, that artwork is so good. This artwork is done by Mr. Sam Sheeran. If you have not seen this guy's artwork, it is fan-flipping-tastic. He does this line of holiday cards every year, and I hope he does it this year. The cards, you know, it's like Krampus and like weird cryptid style holiday cards, and they're amazing. And his art is just stunning. I'll put a link to his webpage down below. Go look at his art. It's dope. Anyway, okay, let's tell you about Rogue. The mountains and forests of Washington state harbor a secret. It has remained hidden for millennia. An apex predator that has mastered the art of the hunt. Intelligent, savage, destructive, and now gone rogue. It no longer sticks to the shadows. The hunt is on, and we are its prey. Nina Lee is a forest ranger assigned to the unsolved missing person cases across Mount Rainier National Park and beyond. She knows some come up here to disappear, and she knows most will never be found. But something has changed. Reports of a killer bear and the arrival of an undisclosed government agency have the community on edge. As brutal murders and home invasions implicate the work of a criminal gang, her father suggests something else is behind the killings. Something from her past. From all their pasts, and it wants revenge. In Rogue, legend comes to life. It makes you wonder what's really out there and hope you never meet it. So Rogue by Luke Phillips. So I got some Bigfoot horror I'm going to be getting into, and I'm pretty excited about it. So between this and Attack on Sasquatch Valley, that should be a good time. All right, let's read about more aquatics. So we have A Misfortune of Lake Monsters. This one sounds like it's going to be a little more less bloody, but I don't know. Maybe it won't be. Maybe there'll be a lot of gore in this one too. Who knows? So A Misfortune of Lake Monsters is by Nicole Wolverton. All right, so let me just read you like the little blurb on the inside. It says, an ambitious teen girl is forced to continue her family's legacy of secretly impersonating the town's famous lake monster, but suddenly discovers a real monster in the lake that wants to eat its way through the populace. All my books are horror. Sounds cute and cozy, doesn't it? All right, I'm super excited for this one. Like I said, love lake monsters. Looking forward to reading this fiction by Nicole Wolverton. Should be a good time. Okay, so last year for the Cryptid Readathon, I read the book The Loch, which was a Loch Ness Monster fiction, and it was awesome, and I flew through it, and so there's a sequel, and that is Vostok by Steve Alten. So this one is a little bit different. I don't believe it's about Loch Ness Monsters. As you can see, there's what looks like a giant crocodile on the cover. So let me tell you a little bit about this one. And I heard that this is kind of a crossover between the Loch and the Meg. And we're going to be talking to you about the Meg here shortly, because I'm also going to be reading that. But first, Vostok. East Antarctica, the coldest, most desolate location on Earth. 2.5 miles below the ice cap is Vostok, a 6,000 square mile liquid lake, more than 1,000 feet deep, left untouched for over 15 million years. Now, marine biologist Zachary Wallace and 2 other scientists aboard a submersible tethered to a laser will journey 13,000 feet below the ice into this unexplored realm to discover Mesozoic life forms long believed extinct, and an object of immense power responsible for the evolution of modern man. And it says, in this sequel to The Loch and the prequel to Meg Night Stalkers, Steve Alten offers readers a crossover novel that combines characters from 2 of his most popular series. Okay, so not even the first Meg book. It's like way further in. I think there's like, I don't know, 7 or 8 books in the Meg series. There's a lot. There's definitely a lot. So, and then I thought I have wanted to pick up the Meg for some time. Is a megalodon a cryptid? I don't know. Was it proved that the megalodon actually existed? Someone let me know. But I thought I would read this for the Cryptid Readathon. It is a giant shark, and that's, I don't know if you can see it, that's its mouth. Look at that. That's terrifying. Imagine something the size of that thing. All right, so let's tell you about the mag. This is a novel of deep terror. 7 years ago, and 7 miles below the surface of the Pacific Ocean, Dr. Jonas Taylor encountered something that changed the course of his life. Once a Navy deep-sea submersible pilot, now a marine paleontologist, Taylor is convinced that a remnant population of Carcharodon megalodon prehistoric sharks growing up to 70 feet long that subsisted on whales lurks at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. Offered the opportunity to return to those crushing depths in search of the megs, Taylor leaps at the chance. But his quest for scientific knowledge and personal vindication becomes a desperate fight for survival when the most vicious predator the Earth has ever known is freed once again to hunt the surface. Well, that sounds terrifying. So I'm going to be reading some nonfiction and a lot of really terrifying cryptid horror, and I can't wait. I'm pretty excited. I do have 2 recommendations of some other books that if you haven't really gotten into cryptids yet and you're looking for something that's like a good starting point, there is a book called The United States of Cryptids by J.W. Ocker, and that book is fantastic. It's basically kind of like you go through and it tells you all these different cryptids. And what I really liked about it is it gives you all the classic cryptids, obviously, you know, Mothman, Bigfoot, Nessie, Chupacabra, the Wendigo, and so many more. But it also goes into ones that I had never heard of before, which I thought was pretty awesome. And so you get a little bit of info on each one, and it was super entertaining. I enjoyed reading it. I read it cover to cover. That is a great place to just start and dip your toe because it gives you a little info on each cryptid, and I thought it's a pretty fantastic read. Now, one of my favorite nonfictions, which is about Mothman, is The Mothman Prophecies by John Keel. If you have not had the chance to read that, it's a classic book. It goes into all the stuff that happened in Point Pleasant, West Virginia, and John Keel lays out what happened while he was there and all the stuff going on in town, and it's kind of a crazy book and quite fascinating read. There's also a movie that was based on the book as well. So I would say those are 2 good starting points to like start getting into cryptid stuff. We have a lot of good stuff to read. Jason and Fiber Artsy will also have their videos for what they're going to be getting into for this as well. So when those pop up, I will probably post those on the community tab whenever they have their videos, so you can check those out too. So keep an eye out for theirs as well. I can't wait to start. I don't know which one I'm going to start with. I have not decided that yet. I was really thinking about starting with the Rogue Bigfoot horror. Maybe I'll start somewhere else. I'm not sure. I don't know. I think that's the biggest one too. So yeah, maybe we'll start with that one because it's longer than the others, and then we'll see where we go from there. It should be a good time. And if you want a little bit more information on the Cryptid Readathon, I'll have the announcement video down below because that'll go over how it works. There's a link to the Discord in there. I can also put a link to the Discord in the video description as well if you want to join our Cryptid Readathon Discord. I will also have the links to Fiber Artsy and Jason. This is Jason's brainchild, the Cryptid Readathon. And definitely go give those 2 a follow if you're not already following them so we can all get weird and read weird books together. It'll be great. So I hope you'll join us for the Cryptid Readathon. And if you enjoyed hanging out today, hit that subscribe button, come back, see me again, and we'll talk about more bookish things and weird stuff.